It's November 7th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today and the Treasury Titans. Wow. Well, it is Friday. Let's take a deep breath because we are currently walking through the valley of despair. Make no mistake about it. These are brutal times if you are a holder of Bitcoin, if you are a holder of Bitcoin treasury companies, if you're a holder of crypto. Even the last few days, if you've been a holder of basically anything, it's been a tough time. At the end of the day, the valley of despair is real. We're in it. Let's not try to fake it. But this is where we come together. This is where we keep each other strong. This is where we support each other and we say, this is part of the cycle. Volatility is vitality. This is it. So we're living through it right now. Let's be honest. If you have been digging into this, it's a lot to do with the government shutdown and just an incredible lack of liquidity across the board that's in the market. So much uncertainty, so much lack of liquidity. A lot of people are thinking, of course, people are wrong all the time, but a lot of people are thinking that once the government does reopen, the flush will be real and the bounce will be real. But only time will tell. All I know is what is real is Bitcoin. What is real is the 640,000 Bitcoin that Strategy has. And oh, by the way, the incredible stretch performance. Right now it's at $100.25. I mean, Saylor's going to be able to ATM his face off again today on stretch. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he was able to pull out of the markets this coming Monday over this past week when they report their ATM usage on stretch. But Michael Saylor just wants us to know that Bitcoin is on sale. I believe it. I know a lot of you believe it. The reality is it could go even more on sale. There's a lot of people that are reasonably thinking it's going down to 92,000. And in my opinion, that's okay because I'm not selling today or tomorrow. I am holding strong and I'm continuing to dollar cost average into this. This is actually the a pretty long stretch of me dollar cost averaging in the MSTR that's been pulling down my dollar cost average, which I should like to see. I like seeing my dollar cost average number going down because for quite a bit of time, my dollar cost average was going up because, of course, my average cost per share was above my average cost price, purchase price. So Bitcoin is on sale, says Michael Saylor. I believe it. We'll see what happens. Erme, thank you to the commenter who corrected my pronunciation of this. Erme says MSTR price won't go much lower without a Bitcoin crash for very long. And any Bitcoin crash would be very short lived. If you have shares or long term options, then I wouldn't be concerned at all. If Bitcoin were to fall by 50%, it won't. I would expect to see MSTR's NAV expand because anyone smart would know what would happen soon after. And today's next post is from Zinx, who says, I think Bitcoin is going to 1 million by 2035, then 10 million by 2045. I think Bitcoin credit is going to eat the 300 trillion fixed income markets. That's what Stretch is doing right now. Thank you, Michael Saylor and Strategy. I think Strategy is going to be the most valuable company in the world. I see Red Days as an opportunity to add to my positions onwards. I agree with all of this. I truly believe Strategy is going to be the most valuable company in the world. To me, it's inevitable. Adrian says, considering that I just showed with a high level of confidence that the MSTR common stock ATM issuance doesn't impact equity price, this analysis by Punter Jeff around the preferred instruments should put people's mind at ease. And then this is quite a legitimate post by Jeff. I'll put it in the comments below. In the show notes below if you want to go ahead and through this. But it's around the lots of negative commentary around the concept of MSTR's ATM being used to pay the yield of pref instruments. Below is an Below is an MSTR preferred equity analysis to showcase the mathematical relativity. So, and then he goes through this. If you want to go through it, I definitely recommend it because it's very interesting. But I'm not going to go through it now because it won't be as interesting on this kind of a show. But I'll put it in the show notes below. Chris says, Strategy is a local monopoly on digital credits and soon to be a global monopoly on digital credit. So, of course, what he means by this is right now, Strategy is a local monopoly, which means in the United States on digital credit, and soon is going to be a global monopoly, meaning that's why it's going into Europe, into England, into the UK, into Canada, into Asia, into Latin America, into Africa. It's going everywhere. Let's go. Zink says Strategy's purchase announcement on Monday is going to be the most significant in a long time. The results of the Stretch ATM is really going to paint an important picture. Imagine if hundreds of millions of dollars is raised. Digital credit is going to send Bitcoin to $1 million. Then we have Dylan from Metaplanets. 7 flights in 7 days. No time for rest when Bitcoin is on sale. Metaplanets, Dylan, Simon, the whole team, they are relentless. They know this is an opportunity. They are absolutely cranking on this. And Chris says the strategy business model is simplified in 2 steps. One, Saylor takes your capital and pays you an annual 10% yield. 2, Saylor uses the capital to buy Bitcoin that generates a 30% ARR and pockets the difference. Voila. People try to complicate things. It's not complicated. Simple sells, fancy fails. Let's keep things simple, and let's not walk away from the fact that we are in a valley of despair. This has been brutal for Bitcoin treasury companies, strategy included. This has been brutal for Bitcoin, just walking down from 126 down to now under 100,000 per Bitcoin. This is part of the ride that we are on. This is part of the roller coaster. If you're on it, you're on it. If you're not, maybe you just get some stretch and just sit back and collect 10% a month. Right now it's 10.5% a month. And also knowing that you're helping the cause because you're helping Saylor siphon dirty fiat and turning it into Bitcoin. Now, I'm continuing that great interview that just happened a couple days ago from Michael Saylor on the Charles Schwab Network. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, check this out. Senator Cynthia Lummis recently announced that funding for a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve can start anytime. This is a massive step forward for a strategic crypto stockpile, and no surprise, was soon followed by a new all-time high for Bitcoin. If you're looking to buy more Bitcoin, Bit IRA can help. In fact, Bit IRA will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into Bitcoin. This also allows you to buy Bitcoin using pre-tax funds and then continue to invest in it over time as you do any other retirement accounts. And if you want, you can even add XRP, Ethereum, or other cryptos. Bit IRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secured storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the US government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open up your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Think about this. In March, President Trump signed an executive order for the Treasury to manage 200,000 Bitcoin as the foundation for a reserve. That's just the foundation. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin. Fire Nation, when you want more for your business, more privacy, more guidance, more success, it all starts with Northwest Registered Agents. These legends have been helping entrepreneurs launch and grow their businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the U.S. with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your state's laws and actually care about helping you win. With Northwest, you can build your complete business identity, everything from what your customers see to what they don't, operating agreements, meeting minutes, compliance paperwork, and more. You'll get thousands of free resources, lawyer drafted forms, and step-by-step guides all in one place, and you don't even need to create an account to access them. Best part, privacy is automatic. Northwest never sells your data and handles everything in-house. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free.
So you are really a pioneer in what you do with regards to Bitcoin treasuries. I mean, how many companies are out there now doing what you do, and do you welcome that?
Yeah, in August of 2020, we were the first public company to make any meaningful commitment to crypto assets or to Bitcoin specifically. And we bought $250 million worth of Bitcoin in August. And then we followed up with another $175 million a few weeks later. We were the first. Then came Block. Then came Tesla. Then came half a dozen or a dozen other Bitcoin miners. And by about a year ago, there were maybe 60 companies that owned Bitcoin. And then it doubled. And now I think there's probably 180 companies that own some amount of Bitcoin on their balance sheet that are publicly traded. We're 10x larger than the next largest one in terms of holding. So we're the 800-pound gorilla in the space. I think probably 1.1 million Bitcoin are held by public companies, and we own about 2/3 of it. So we're the largest player. We're the first ones to actually issue digital credit instruments like these preferreds that are trading in the public market. But I expect that others will follow. There'll probably be about half a dozen companies over the next 12 months to 24 months that will follow and issue those kind of credit instruments. We welcome those companies. I mean, the truth is every single company that capitalizes on Bitcoin takes more supply. There's only 21 million Bitcoin ever. So, if Microsoft turned around tomorrow and bought $100 billion of Bitcoin, that would be great for us, right? So the more companies that buy Bitcoin, the better. Most are just capitalizing on it. They're just buying it in lieu of holding treasuries or holding cash, right? It's like a company can own real estate, a company can own any other asset, a company can own Bitcoin. So most do that. There'll be a few pure play treasury companies that will also issue digital credit against their underlying Bitcoin, but you need to have, more like $10 billion of capital before you can get to critical mass where you could do 500 million and $1 billion IPOs of credit instruments that would be liquid in the market.
What's the second best? There is no second best.